Howdy, Mike McCoy here. How's it going? The name of this video today is The Night I Shot Maverick. And let me give you a little background on that. In 1957, I was 6 years old. And my mother had been staying up in Michigan. Her and my dad separated as soon as I was born, and they put me off on my grandmother. And she went to Michigan. Well, she come back from Michigan, and she was flush for cash. She had about $500 on her, which in that time, and to her, that was a fortune. And she bought us a brand new television set. And we was like the second family in this community to have a TV. We hadn't had electricity but maybe 4 or 5 years. They got electricity about the time I was born. And here we had a TV. I mean, that was just like a spaceship had landed. Nobody had ever seen or heard tell of nothing like that. People, all our neighbors come to watch it. And there was one guy down the road that had a little grocery store, or general store really. He had got one too. And Mom had took me down there and I'd have got to see it, and I thought that was just the greatest thing in the world to get to see a picture. I'll never forget Ray Price was a singing, the Cherokee Cowboys, you know, and I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. You could see somebody actually sing on TV and all that. And we got us a TV. Well, they brought it, and the wire that come from the antenna down to the house looked like a little railroad track. And they put the antenna up in the woods a pretty good ways. I always thought Granny made them put it up there so the church folks couldn't see she had a TV. Some preacher had said TV antennas are sticking out the tops of people's houses was the devil's ears. So Granny, I guess, kind of worried about that. But anyway, they put it up there, and it was two guys that come to install it. And one of them's name was Caney. I'd never heard tell nobody before or since named Caney. And he was real personable, and I was a little 6-year-old at everybody's way. Another guy was real young. He might have been 18, 19 years old, but he was young, and he was just a butthole. I had a place up there where I played in the dirt, and had all my little trucks and, you know, stuff a 6-year-old would have. And he picked up one of my trucks, pulled the tar off of it, and throwed it right down in the road. I never did find it. Made me so mad. But anyway, just either 1 or 2 days later, some man caught him and his daughter together, and he shot and killed him. I don't know what the story was or anything, but I do know that that boy didn't live but just a day or two. And at the time, I didn't care because he'd thrown my tar away. But that's a different story altogether. But they got the TV installed and everything, and I guess we'd had it a day or two. Well, the guy that had the store, he started the rumor that his blew up. Said one night, while he was in the bed, said it just exploded. Threw glass all over the living room. It was just terrible. Said, better not get one. Said, them things blow up and come. I'm pretty sure him and his wife got in some kind of fight, and one of them throwed something through it, or he shot it, or it didn't just blow up. But, you know, to save face, he said it did. So that, you know, that kind of worried everybody. It worried my mother and my grandmother, and I was too little to have, and it didn't worry me, for it didn't have enough sense to be worried at just 6 years old, you know. Well, a few days passed, and we lived in a 3-room shack. The living room in that old house was probably 12 by 16. It couldn't have been no bigger than that. And there was a bed in there and a couch and 2 or 3 chairs. And that house was just packed with people come to watch that TV. And me and some of my friends had been out there on the porch. I had a little old BB gun. We'd been shooting that BB gun. And we all come back in there before we run out of BBs. And Maverick was just going off. And he was riding into the sunset, and I was sitting there in my grandmother's old rocking chair. And I just leveled that BB gun at him. And I said, I wonder what happened if I shot old Maverick. Or I'm going to shoot Maverick anyway I mentioned something about shooting Maverick. So I pulled the trigger. And all of a sudden that TV screen just looked like a spider web. Somebody hollered, it's gonna blow. And people just went everywhere. I'll never forget there's one guy, he come out from under the bed, had a big dust bunny hanging in his hair. Well, Mom figured out that it wasn't going to blow up right then anyway. She grabbed my BB gun, throwed it off a bank, grabbed a piece of stove wood and beat the snot out of me. Me squalling and carrying on something terrible. She was mad I'd ruined her television. And as luck would have it, that thing had a plate of safety glass over the picture tube, and that's what the BB had hit, and it just shattered it. But there for about, I guess 20 or 30 seconds, we just all knowed we was going to die. And then after that 20 or 30 seconds, I knowed I was going to die, for I thought Mom was going to beat me to death because I shot Maverick. And you just had to have been there to have seen it. I mean, grown men hiding under beds and running for the door. It was just pandemonium. Next day, Granny went down there and found my old BB gun, brought it back. Mom had kind of got over it. She didn't want to kill me. Anyway, she didn't want to kill me that day, I don't guess. But that was something else. And you know, it's just amazing to me, with all the modern technology we got now, you know, that something like a TV could have been that earth-shattering, you know. But people have never seen nothing like that. And it was a big deal. But I thought I was a goner there for a minute when I shot Maverick. For where the BB hit, it made this tiny little hole, and just it radiated out from it. They wasn't a piece of that glass no bigger than the end of your finger. And I forget who that said, it's gonna blow, and boy, here everybody went. After Mama beat the snot out of me, I think everybody's kind of embarrassed for me, and they left, you know, and I'm sure I was a snubbing and a crying and a carrying on. But that's my story about me shooting old Maverick. I got him just as he rode off into the sunset. It's a little bit different. Thank you.